question 21, this geologic cross-section. When I first saw this question, I was like, no, this is brutal. This is a hard one. It's not exactly an easy one. And there were a lot of kids that struggled with number 21. So not surprising that this one looks a little bit difficult, especially when you analyze the answers. So geologic cross-sections, one of the big things to remember is the lower down it is, the older it is. So these things were formed first down on the bottom, and this was formed last on top. That's called the law of superposition. But also we have this thing called an igneous intrusion. So we have this like magma underground that's upwelling, it's coming up, and it kind of got stuck in this layer right here and kind of spread apart in this direction. And as a result, you can see these inclusions that are part of that magma formation underground. Now, the question is about those intrusions and what's going on with them. So let's just take a look at our answer choices here. It says the inclusions were most likely broken off from their original rock layers when. And this is the hard part about this. First off, I'm going to eliminate number 4. It couldn't be before the limestone. The limestone's right here. It couldn't be before the limestone because, this limestone had to be there before this could come through. So get rid of number 4. Then you take a look at number 3, before the sandstone. Could it be before the sandstone that these were, broken off? I mean, potentially. So I'm just going to maybe circle that as a possibility. We'll see. I'll put a question mark next to that. Okay. So it's somewhere in between there. Number 2, at the same time as the crystallization of the magma. Well, that's probably not true. If these got broken off, they didn't get broken off when this got crystallized. It was already broken off. So I'm going to get rid of answer number 2 as a possibility. So number 1, at the same time as the intrusion of the magma. So in the process of this magma moving through, it ripped off this rock and it became part of the lava or the magma underground. That's definitely a possibility. So I'm going to circle that. Now, just a little heads up. When the exam came out, I struggled with this question. I picked number 1 as my answer choice. And when the actual key came out for grading this test, New York State said the answer was number 3. And I was like, no, it can't be number 3. That doesn't really make any sense for it to be number 3. So we called up New York State and said, I think you have an error. And New York State said, okay, we'll get back to you. And about half an hour later, they sent out this important notice that the key had been changed. And why did the key get changed, the scoring key? Because I called them and said, I think you have an error. So the answer definitely was number 1, and I proved them wrong there. Now, why is it not number 3? Why could it not be before the formation of the sandstone, which is what New York State said originally? So why couldn't it be before this? Okay. Well, this had to be there in order for this to intrude and change this rock right here. Okay. So it had to happen definitely before the formation of after the formation of the sandstone, because otherwise it wouldn't change this rock. And if you actually look at that rock type, you can look at your reference table on this thing. That rock type that you see there is a specific type of rock called quartzite. And you can't form quartzite without the sandstone already being there. So that gets rid of number 3 as a possibility and leaves number 1 as the only possible correct answer choice. I was very proud of myself for getting that one right. But again, that's a difficult question, and I can understand you struggling through that. But just kind of work your way through and think about what's logical and what's not logical.